There. Okay. Sorry. It decided that it didn't actually want to uh pick up my microphone right away. Ay ay ay. Okay. Hello, Six Pack. I am Sparky. It's been a minute since I've streamed. Today, oh god, have I streamed since I announced the album? I don't remember. New album. Oh wait, yeah, I did a stream talking about the announcement and the album. Robots and Revenge, Valentine's Day. I'm super excited. Redyed my hair to match it. Oh, did my nails to match the hair too. Anyway, um, so before we get into either of the songs mentioned in the title, oh, if you don't know, the Behind the Music series is a series where I go through each of my songs and talk about inspirations, lyrics, meanings, references, all that type of stuff. Before we get into either of the ones that are actually that we're here for today, R and Boxes, we're gonna talk about the first track of the album because R is track 2 and Boxes is track 3, and R fades into Boxes. But track 1 also fades into R, which the first track is called Zero. It's track 1, you know, ones and zeros, binary code, robots. Yeah. Anyway. um. Oh, hang on. Let me check something. I just wanna hang on. There's a chance that this stream could be unlisted. And I want to make sure that's not unlisted right this second because I'd really prefer if you could actually see this. Oh, Hermitcraft started, by the way. That's exciting. I'm just gonna say things to fill time. Uh, big life changes outside of YouTube, so I don't have as much time. All right, Republic, we're good. All right. Anyway, let's let's talk about track 1, Zero. Uh, Instrumentally, it's inspired by two Ash Nico songs, and also just Ash Nico in general. But Possession of a Weapon, which was the general vibe, and the general sound that inspired Zero, and then Slumber Party, the sliding bass, that was the biggest inspiration for that specific part of the song. Um, yeah, pretty simple for the inspirations there. And fun little fact about Zero, it is the original version of Apple Farm, and also there will be, I think, two other versions of Zero that pull from the old version of Apple Farm. There were like two placeholder vocals recorded, so nothing. I couldn't do anything with vocally to reference the original Apple Farm because there was not much to work with. So Zero is an instrumental track, so that's why I didn't write it in the title, because there's not much to talk about besides just the sound inspirations, because there's no lyric inspirations, because there's no lyrics. Because the lyrics that were there got moved over to Apple Farm, and that's we've already talked about that. so, so Zero is an early version of Apple Farm, and like I said, it fades into R, and also is clipped at the end of Boxes. Um, all right, let's see. So let's talk about the first vocal track, track 2, R, the title song, because it's abbreviated to Robots and Revenge is abbreviated to R. In this case, R stands, like in the song, it stands for rest and relaxation, as it typically does. Yeah, that's fair. I haven't streamed in so long, I've probably lost most of my audience. It's good to see you. It's always a joy. All right. Would you prefer if you know what? I'll show the lyrics on screen, sure. All right. That's Streamlabs. All right. So this track is incredible. Hi, Taylor Swift. Incredibly personal drama. Anyway, I don't. Normal recommendations. That's not what we're here for. Can I zoom in? Oh, perfect. We don't even have to look at the recommendations. Hi. All right. So R lyrics. This is as good as I can get it while still seeing chat. Um, It's time for rest. Give it a rest. You gave your best. You can try again next time. Before tonight, it seems you might have to be satisfied that you tried your best. So take a rest. That's the little chorus of the first half. And uh, this song is structured like it. I'm gonna talk about like it's two separate songs when it comes to, for example, the chorus, just because it's made to have two very distinct halves. So true. No, not arrest. No, no. Anyway, sorry, that was in response to that there. Um, but anyway, oh, wait, I say that as if you can see that. You might not be able to. Oh, you can. We're good. Okay. Anyway, this is in reference to a very specific life experience. It was a whoa. Oh my God. Sorry, I'll talk about that later. Um, I got distracted. It's in reference to a very specific life experience I had, but if you want to look at it more generally, it's a falling out with a friend where the person, like my point of view, is someone who was in the wrong in the situation, but the entire situation was handled so poorly, including by the other person, that there's like nothing that could have possibly done to resolve it. There was nothing that could have uh, been like good enough, basically. Well, hair dye fades, and also, this is closer to what the R&R stuff was because I had colored conditioner in for a bit now, and just like I did back then. Although this side started out as teal originally in back when R&R was made, compared to now where this started out as just straight up blue, and I ordered some yellow conditioner to make it go a bit more teal later, but it hasn't arrived yet because the first time I ordered it, it didn't go through because my credit card had fraudulent activity, so it detected that also as fraudulent activity, so it didn't go through. Anyway, don't worry, I have all of the hair colors planned, and I'm gonna keep going split dyes, I believe, just because I think that's fun. Um, and don't worry, purple will that will be a thing. I think that's number 4, maybe 5. It's 4 or 5, I believe. Anyway. But yeah, this is just you've done everything you can. You just kind of have to let it be, is what this entire thing is. And I know that's basically exactly what it says. It's not super. It's not a super interesting metaphor. Um, sunflowers, sun showers, lightning, dark roads. Just that things aren't looking good is what the lightning dark roads is. Like it's meant to feel like that vibe of going home late during a storm, can't see anything, lightning flashes, making it like a bit disorienting. Oh, exactly. That's kind of what inspired me partially to do the split die because if people associate me with something, I think that's a fun thing to be associated with. I know Melanie did it, but there's not a lot of like more masculine folks who do that. Anyway, the sunflowers, that's uh an inside joke essentially. It's a reference to the topic of the like the personal aspect of the song. So I'm not gonna say too much on that part. If you're closer to me and like emotionally closer to me, then you can ask. Well, no, I mean like not compared to Melanie Martinez is what I'm saying. Also, sun showers. That's just meant to be like it goes from sun showers to lightning to dark roads. It goes from nice and bright and kinda okay, this might be solvable to okay, I can't see how this could be solved. Literally can't see. Let me repeat the chorus. I'm so tired and I think I might be wired incorrectly. Uh that is uh just from the time where I was struggling mentally. That's it. That's not interest. There's nothing interesting. It's also continuing that robots theme that the whole album is trying to have. Oh God, I feel like I wouldn't be as good of a person. Anyway, see, I know what I've done. I know it's pretty dumb. That's me saying I know I was in the wrong. I totally got that part. I I have made bad choices. That's all right. Then we're going back to the sunflower. Sunflower falling over because it's looking for the sun, but it can't see. Uh, that is. How do I explain that? What does that mean, actually? Hang on, give me a second. I can tell I didn't script this or write notes or anything. Um, give me a second. Okay, it can't see the sun obviously because it's dark. Um, and it's hurt basically. I'm so tired. I mean, yeah, that's so repcore. Chlorophyll killer, photosynthesize and run. Once again, that's just a callback to the sunflower part, the plants. Um, and also this part is very inspired by Melanie Martinez and Ashniko, both in their latest albums. That would be Portals and Weed Killer. Here we have an extension of that little interlude thing, the Sunflower Sun Showers verse. Sunflowers, thunder showers. Let's see where this goes. Um, it's just kind of continuing the it's storming and I can't see, but we'll we'll figure out where this goes. Let me go back to the chorus. Once again, this is an inside thing, inside joke. So the Llama Llama Strawberry, I will not be explaining that. Better than oh wait, R&R Rhythm Portals. I very heavily disagree, just because I don't know what I'm doing and Melanie does. Melanie, Melanie is incredible, and I love them. Um, Llama Llama Sand, Llama Llama Bury Me, Llama Llama Land, and those lines are just so I can call back to it later. So I'll talk about what the sand, bury me, and Llama Llama Land mean in a second. Hey, I'm talking about R&R and boxes. I also mentioned Zero at the beginning just because that doesn't have lyrics, so it's not going to get its own stream. I didn't know you'd be here. Very good. Hi. Yeah, I try to be here on I try to be on my live streams when the stream is happening occasionally. Um, hey, chose wrong, so I didn't think, but I tried to fix us on the brink. Anger was strong, us both on the edge, so I let you pick and you chose revenge. That's literally exactly what it sounds like. I made bad choice. Uh, I put zero thought into the choice. I did my best, trying to make up for it. Um, and it just got it became a worse situation. Um, revenge. Oh my God, you're right. The person just chose to give that anger as a response, and that's made the situation go not so well. In comparison to Melanie Martinez, we were talking about the split die, and we were talking about how different singers have their thing, and that helps them be notable. And I was like, split die. Here, Finn mentioned the split die and how that could be my thing, and I mentioned Melanie. I was like, I know it's Melanie's thing, but that there's not really anyone more masculine that does that. I mean, there's Scars, but I don't really know who that person is, and I've only ever seen that person on Instagram ads. I want to listen to the music at some point, but aside from Scars with the black and red, there's not anyone I've seen that's more masked that has the split die. Alright, it's like a one-sided mirror. At first I see you too, but then I saw you clearer when you pushed me right through. Now I see as me here, so I decided to improve, but have you looked around here? No one wants to be near you. Um Anyway, this is all just going for a one-sided mirror analogy where Um, I I this person started out as my friend, but then obviously things went bad, and then I was ended up there alone. But like alone, as in not with them, not like alone, alone. And then in the end, uh, you could tell. Uh, how do I word that? In the end, it wasn't just me who had a problem with them. And that, let me tell you, this is not just a reference to a singular person. This is uh numerous experiences with numerous people I've had where like I'm not someone who usually has an issue with people, and when I do, it's usually not just me. Um and then we get into the speech. I don't want anyone feeling how I did back then. I get that I did wrong, but you ignore it on 10. I understand the impact, hence apologies to no end. People make mistakes, people create hate, so I'd rather robots and revenge. This is just me saying the title, that's it. um but this is quite literal. There's nothing to interpret there. All right, and here we talk about the thing I said I'd call back to. La La Memories. Okay, then the Sandman, Bury Me Under La La Land, as in uh, brain space, as in like dreams, that type of thing. And that's why it was sand, because Sandman is associated with dreaming, and La La Land associated with daydreaming, you know? If you need to go, anyone, that's fine. I completely understand. That is a reference to a very specific personal situation. You can ask me about that later in private messages, and I can tell you. Perhaps. So let's talk about inspirations behind the style of this song. The biggest inspiration was Lana Del Rey's A and W. Be clear, A and W, which this this title was not a reference to that, by the way. That was an accident. I just noticed that. Well, yeah, but it's also a phrase. Um, and then the speech part was very inspired by "Not My Responsibility" by Billie Eilish, which came out way before Happier Than Ever, but ended up being a track that faded into Overheated. I'm glad you liked it. Thank you. It compared to the old one, slay is a big term I would use on that one. Um, all right, so the percussion for the second half of the song was very inspired by chaotic canine culture, CK9C. I most of them for their Five Nights at Freddy's stuff. Um, it's most inspired by the slower part of "They'll Keep You Running," after like that calm music box section where it goes the, that it's that part that inspired that. Um, I'm very confused. Apparently, "Viral" by Nate Wants to Battle, Give Heart Records, inspired something in this song, but I don't think that's meant to be there, if I'm being honest. I think that's meant to be somewhere else on the playlist. I think when I was moving stuff around, that got there by accident, because that's I have these in order by song on the inspiration playlist, which is publicly available. If you go to my second channel, you can find it. Um, R&R inspo. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know my virals this early on the playlist. And then the la 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 part is inspired by Miss Nectarine by Ashniko. All right. So this was um a big variety of sources that this one was inspired from, but the biggest one, at least structurally, was amazing. Structurally, this was very inspired by A and W. Yeah, that's R&R. Do we have any questions before we move on to boxes? Because I am very happy to answer some. I will not be answering any about sunflowers, llamas, or strawberries. What country will next one locational like? We're gonna go through all of the core locationals before we get to the rest of the aux locationals, considering we've already met them. So, why? Um, is that is that is that one of the questions about the song? Because it was weighing on my conscience for a while. Brazil and Japan will be aux locationals. Hey, good to see you. Um, the the core locationals would be Mad Ants and Ingline yet. I totally I I'm trying to think of anything to say. The joke is that I was consulting that person on France in England. Yep, yep. Wish there was Firehaven Dweller. Go check out MK's channel. Or MK's channel, I don't know how it's said. MK, MK, MK. Go check out their channel. I don't know if it's still up, but if it is, go check out their channel. Alright. So I guess we're gonna move on to boxes. While I'm looking at the playlist, let's talk about the inspirations. So there are some general inspirations from Death by Melanie Martinez, uh, and this one only has two song inspirations, and Nymphology, an okay amount of Nymphology, like a good amount of Nymphology, truly. Especially the end of Nymphology, Amulet, that is exactly where I got the ending of Boxes to be inspired from. And once again, the end samples from the song Zero, the first track of Robots and Revenge, the album. Hello? I don't understand the point of that emojis button thing. I can see it happening on my screen, but I don't understand the point of it. Alright, let's talk boxes. Oh. Hmm. What? Very good. That's R&R, Dustin. Buddy, try again. Ah, closed. Hang on. Hush up. Also, yes, lyric videos. We're gonna get lyric videos. They're not gonna release with the album, but they're gonna release the days after. This is terrible. Very good. Alright. So, this one, uh, very much when I was coming to terms with gender identity stuff. That's a big theme of this specific song. But that'll also be the theme of a future song that I cannot talk about yet. Uh, for uh for people who I may or may not have a group chat with, that would be the title song of the thing I linked earlier today. Anyway, uh, Bots and Bolts, that's just a reference to the title. Stalls and Schools. Okay, so Stalls and Schools, that, we're gonna take this one part at a time because there's a lot to go over here. Stalls and Schools, that is a reference to the debate of they need to keep the LGBTs out of the schools. That's that whole thing. Box and Tape, it's just, once again, going back to the boxes analogy, the title analogy of the song. Boxes become coffins because you see some sort of mistake. And that has to do with how, with less acceptance, death rates end up increasing. And that's incredibly upsetting. And this is sort of a vent song about the lack of acceptance, especially for queer folks. Underbaked molten metal folding people. That's okay. The underbaked molten metal. That's just going back to the robots analogy. holding people, that's like trying to force them to fit into boxes, is what that's about. Tracks on race and roller skates, excuses because of new safety rules. Going and changing things like unnecessarily and using safety as an excuse, and that is in reference to the Olympics debate. I'm sorry if my trans identity makes you uncomfortable. Well, actually, I couldn't care less, but what I expect from someone as tasteful as cardboard for breakfast? That's me be like, I'm always one to say sorry for absolutely everything. So that's like, I'm sorry if I make you uncomfortable by existing. I mean, actually, I couldn't care less, but I don't know what I would expect because you are not interesting in any way and you have bad opinions. Painted nails put him in jail because colors are too much for you. That's a reference to something that happened with one of my friends relating to painted nails and judgment. Uh, Hence why it's him and not them, because this is not in reference to me. I don't know what you're saying. Makeup makes us look just like sluts, and that part is a reference to, well, she deserves what happens to her because she's wearing makeup, because she's dressed a certain way. Don't even get me started on a fucking tattoo. People talking about how tattoos make you look unprofessional or make you look like a scary person, all that type of stuff, where we're just judging based on appearance. That's it. And making assumptions and whatnot. um, Pretty Little Boxes, Rocks and Glass. So Pretty Little Boxes, that's self-explanatory. Putting people into boxes. Again, not literally, but making assumptions about them. Rocks and Glass. Throwing rocks at glass houses is what that's a reference to. Short shorts. That's a short short. Hang on, I need to fix that at some point. Let me write that down. Short short boxes. Fix, please. Write it like Galvana. Um, Short shorts, crops. It's just too much to ask. This is about school dress codes. Angles distract the class. Shoulders showing. Don't be crass. Um, that's just talking about how you're going to distract people by the way you dress. And then also, if you dress a certain way, you just deserve what happens to you. That whole awful mindset. Don't be fat because they'll worry about your health. Um, if you're fat, then you're going to get judged for it constantly. And people will be using the excuse of worrying about your health, even if they know absolutely nothing about your health. You could be going on like you could have the healthiest eating habits, the healthiest exercise habits, and as a fat person, you're still going to get judged for not being healthy. Right? It's wild. And hey, don't be gay, by the way, because you're going straight to hell. Uh, that's that's something I've been told so many times, and it's just ridiculous. Ah, what's the problem? Don't you like how other people saw them, like a normal person? Are you sad because they didn't give them more hurting? Anyway, um, that is a reference to uh being non-binary, actually. I According to dress codes, yes. I don't understand it, but according to dress codes, um, people sometimes expect others to be just as intolerant as them, is what that's a reference to as well, and find it ridiculous when people do such wild things as calling a person by what they want to be called. How unimaginable. Ha, as if I don't care much for your blame. Is that what the words are? I don't care about your bland words. I'm discovering these descriptions aren't correct. Don't care. much for your. Alright. Anyway, hey, I don't feel within that crate, but excuse it with love, you great religious hate. That's just a reference to the phrase, there's no hate like Christian love. I don't know, what was your Brazil locational idea? I'm sure it's a fun idea, whatever it is, but I won't be going based off of it. The design's already done. Now it's just repeating that. Going back to this part. Oh, we have a reference to Hateful Heart as well here. Personal hell. Personal hell. You know, little reference, very similar. Alright. So, trigger warning for eating disorders here. Um, especially undereating. That's what this entire last verse is a reference to, and I've noticed it with a good amount of young folks today because of body expectations. Cut your waist to fit inside the beauty standards, fragile lines, thin lines. Um, the cut your waist to fit inside, feeling like you have to do harmful things to look a certain way. The beauty standards, fragile lines, thin lines. It's nearly impossible to be what people want. Yeah, I have locational like done. The only thing I have left is variants, which aren't actually going to be on the lake itself. It's just gonna be like a fun little bonus thing. Um, you can never eat because of your perfect body. Once again, reference to eating disorders. Yeah, I better be exactly what they want me to be. That goes into this line. It doubles. That's just being like I have to be exactly what everyone wants. Um, to be beautiful is to be in pain. To be body that follows trends is to be in disdain. Because bodies should not be something that are a trend. That's not that's not a good thing at all. It's horrendous. To be beautiful is to meet with ED. That's exactly what it sounds like. Chase an unhealthy dream, American dream. Ugh. Once again, exactly what it sounds like. I was about to continue the lyrics, but I shouldn't do that. This is PG-13. I know there are some serious topics, and I know there was one maybe not great word, but still. Yeah, ugh. It's part of the lyrics. Alright. Do we have any questions about boxes? Also, a fun fact, I have this document on my phone. Let me find it. I have this document on my phone with just oh, sorry, it wasn't up all the way. With just every lyric idea I've had, and I wrote it down. But like I write all the lyrics I think of down, and sure, go for it. And if there's any that'll fit a song, I might go through and edit them or just throw them in if they're fine already. Boxes, I had to edit one line, and that was just because it didn't fit with the beats of that final verse. Everything else was, well, I thought word for word, but of course, like I said, there are two errors that I have to go back and correct because sometimes I'm recording, I switch up the words to make it sound better. But generally, the only actual like big change, and it wasn't even that big, was the fact that I cut a line out of that last verse. I don't remember what the line was, sadly. It's just that that line's gone. That's it. Yeah, like I said, I've done all of the locational designs and I've done all of the song updates. I have all of the videos scheduled. It's gonna be monthly, at least monthly. As in sometimes it'll be more than once a month. And that'll be up until October. But yeah, that's that. Do we have any questions about the song Boxes? Or if you have any from R&R yet? Also, I will say that of the auxiliary no, of the core locationals, one of the two remaining ones does have a name change. Anyway, anything about boxes or anything like that? Just want to ask before we go. What? Oh, which one? You'll find out. It's not that big of a, it's not that important of a mystery, but eh. And also, if you haven't seen the announcement for the Robots and Revenge album, I'll play that real quick. I can't zoom in? Oh, I can zoom in.
Boxes. Patch. Sugar Stick Sunday. Wrong model. These 5 singles have something in common. Something pretty noteworthy, actually. Not only are they all taken from actual life experience, but they're all from my new upcoming album. I'd like to announce
Compression.
Robots and Revenge. Valentine's 2024.
Yeah. Anyway. Still coming out Valentine's 2024, unless I got a YouTube strike or something. Yeah, I'm super excited. And that's what those two songs are from. They released as singles first, I think back, was it October? Is that when R&R released? I don't remember. But the singles, for 5 singles I wanted to release, because that's a third of the album early, and then the other 2/3 you'll have to see in the album itself. Also, a fun little fact, instead of Wrong Model, originally Mechanic, another track, was going to be released last month. Also, I mentioned that Rust is being released this month, and that's because it's releasing with the album during the album, because that's when I showed off early, and that was before the album was announced. So I was like, oh yeah, Rust is coming out in February. That's because that's the entire album's coming out in February. It's so stupid. I love it. Anyway, I hope you're excited. I know I am. Yeah, anyway. Um, once again, any last minute questions before we end this stream? It was chilly, but I might take this hoodie off after this because I am getting warm now. Same thing with the gloves. The gloves. Why? Um, I felt like it needed to be expressed and talked about, and I thought, I mean, it might be a little divisive to reference uh, such controversial topics, but that's also because I feel very strongly about those topics. That's why. That's why boxes. Any any others? Oh, I'm excited to talk about Cell. Hi, you're getting here right at the end. Do you have any questions? That's what we're talking about right now. I'm asking if there's any questions before we wrap this up. No? Oh, I have to throw together the video for uh the rare version of the Germany monster yet. Let me look. Well, it's lovely to see you. Let me look at the notes for done on the stream. I'm gonna switch over to another stream in a few minutes. I might eat first though, I don't know. But I'm probably gonna switch over to another live stream. Lovely seeing you. I don't No one's fighting. Um Alright. Also Zero's called Zero because I had zero plans for the intro song. It's nothing basically. Is what I have written down for Zero. Shut up, guys. That's not nice. Alright, for R&R, I have being wrong and trying your absolute best to fix it, but the other person refuses to see you as anything but horrible. And then boxes was fitting people into neat little boxes because you can't handle things being complicated. The the sass in that writing is so good. I appreciate you coming up with different names for them. It's very good. I've never seen Debbie spelled with a Y. I've always seen IE. Anyway, that's completely unrelated. Do we have any questions before we go? Why did everything just refresh? Hello? Chat, like, disappeared and reappeared, and the chat on screen did it too. Also, I have this for me to look at my notes for the songs. Alright, I think we're done with this stream. At some point, probably after the the album comes out, we'll talk about the other songs. Amazing. We'll go with Blueprint and Defect because they fade together. We'll probably do Patch and Rust together just because I know they're not next to each other in the album. Patch is track 6 and Rust is track 14, but the rest of the songs all fade together in some way. Reprogram and Mechanic fade together, so we'll do those together. Wrong Model and Cell, we'll do those together. Copy Paste Stitch together and Sugar 6 Sunday we'll do together, and then Power Down can get its own. And perhaps by then I'll release another song to do with Power Down. Maybe not. I don't know. Undecided. Power Down could just get its own too. But yeah. Or we can do the ones that don't fade. Uh like on their own rather than together. Alright, I think we're done. Let me just make sure that's not a question for the stream. It's not. Okay. I hope you have a lovely day or night or whatever it is for you. If you have any further questions, just put it in the comments then. When's the next stream? Probably in not super long from now because I want to stream either GTA or Fortnite. Probably Fortnite because I have quests I want to do. So I'll probably stream Fortnite at some point today. So you probably won't have seen the last of me for today. I hope you have a lovely day or night, whatever's for you. Like I said, I'll probably be streaming later because I wanna stream. Because it's been a minute. Goodbye. That's not true. There's a lot there's a good amount of like a surprisingly large queer audience for Fortnite. And also more queer characters than I'd expect, but not as many as I would hope for in Fortnite. Anyway, I go now. Goodbye. Have a lovely day or night. Whatever's for you. Goodbye.